Lovely with David Hughes, Chairman of Affordable Solar. And the sun is out today.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that is, in the solar business, if the sun is out, is that a good day?
Sun is out, it is a good day, especially for New Mexico. It's one reason why here in New Mexico, it's such a good state for solar. It's why the utility company is building more power plants.
Right.
It's why people are putting in systems.
Right, 360 days a year of sunshine, right?
That's right.
And we're able to just really leverage that here. When we talk about solar, people, though, it still is more expensive per kilowatt than it is for, or at least what I've been told, is it's more expensive per kilowatt than it is for coal or for utility power, right, at this point? But it's getting there, right? Yeah.
Depends where. So when you get up to the utility scale, coal is cheaper, definitely. When you get into gas, we're using
coal's
peaking
also
power plants.
got other issues, though.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you get natural gas, you can get wind, you can do other things, right?
Yeah.
But the part of that, though, is a clean power plan, right?
Yes.
And this is something I'm glad you're on so we can talk about this. This is something the president has proposed, and the clean power plan is basically making sure PNM and the PRC and everybody else gets together, forms a plan that doesn't pollute the air.
Yes.
And keeps the haze emissions down, keeps the coal down. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
How does that, in the solar business, it's got to be good news, right? With the clean power plant?
Yeah, definitely. So we're looking at overall, it's going to be a 32% reduction in CO2 from power plants. Right. So there's other sources. There's going to be there's cars that are producing as well. So or transport in general. Right. Solar is or power plants is 1/3, and we're going to see a 32% reduction by 2030.
That's huge.
Yeah, it is.
It is huge, and that will cut down, well, not only the CO2 greenhouse gas, but it's also one of those gases that creates the haze and not the smog. That's different stuff. It's the haze. Am I right? Yeah. So, in your case, what do we? Is it affordable solar? Is it companies like yours that are helping make that a reality, that reduction in CO2? Or is it you guys and a variety of others?
So the Clean Power Plan offers the utility companies, not the utility companies really, it's going to be the PRC. Each state is going to make their own decision. Right. A place like Kentucky or West Virginia, which is coal-based, is going to come up with a decision that's going to be different than New Mexico, where we have a lot of solar resources. But it's basically, you can either clean up the existing power plant, you can put in new power plants that are cleaner, you can put in a program that's going to be renewable energy and energy efficiency, or there's going to be an exchange where you can exchange credits with other states. So there's a variety of mechanisms. And it's a very complicated plan. It's 1,500 pages. Wow. It's so complicated. There's a cottage industry of people who just interpret the plan. They are working, really, and they're going into the utility companies and saying, and the PRC, and saying, look, if you need help with this, because it is so complicated, we're here to help you.
I can believe it, because it is kind of nuts. I've been following a little bit of the PNM stuff, and they're trying to shut down, basically half of the coal capacity they have up in Four Corners, and replace that with some solar, some wind, and some natural gas, because it's cleaner for the air. Yes. But doesn't the natural gas, doesn't that create CO2 also?
It does.
Not as bad as coal, though.
No, it's about half. Okay. That's about half. Yeah. Turns out there's some other issues, because you end up in the production of natural gas, and I don't have the details of this, but in the production of natural gas, you're gassing off a lot of the methane in the atmosphere, and methane is a very powerful
otherwise known as methane.
Methane, sorry.
To those of us that went to school in America, right? Because am I right in thinking you went to school in overseas?
Oh, yep. So born in Canada, in Montreal, and then went to a boarding school over in England and then a university in Scotland.
Where they actually see methane.
They see methane in tomato and aluminium. Right.
And then you come here and you're culture shock?
When I first came here, I remember going into this department store in Des Moines, and the shelves were just stacked with groceries, and I couldn't believe how much stuff there was to be able to buy.
And then, how did you start the company? I know that Affordable Solar has been around for a while. You're kind of like the go-to guys, I know, for a lot of people in solar around. But it wasn't always like that.
No, in the early days it was hand to mouth, but it was very, it was a labor of love. I got interested in renewable energy, solar in particular, because it's an elegant design principle. You put the panel in the sun, and then it produces electricity. It moves water.
Well, we actually have a cool video of this, and I don't know if you know where this was shot, because it's a very cool looking video. Do you know where this was actually filmed?
This one, I think this is our plant down in, this is our Truth or Consequences plant.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Is that a drone that shot that? Or is
this is a drone.
Yeah?
It was
cool.
I saw that when I first saw this drone shot. That is very cool.
Right, you can do so much cool stuff with them. And this is one of the plants. Is this one feeding one of the electric co-ops that's down there?
This is for the city of. This
TRC?
is for TRC. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And it just. Do you know how many watts that is off the top of your head?
This is 1.8 megawatts. It's enough for roughly about 500 homes.
That's huge.
And the other thing is, we're using, these panels are from, these are from a Chinese company, but the trackers are coming from our Array Technologies, which is
local guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to have them on, because the way the trackers work is pretty cool, because it just spins these things with the sun all day long and makes sure that they're always getting maximum solar gain.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. So how is business right now? I mean, is the solar business really booming right now? Are you seeing a little bit of pullback? I mean, electricity in general, especially in New Mexico, what are we paying? 12, 13 cents a kilowatt hour? It's not like what you're paying in California when you're looking at 45 cents a kilowatt, you know?
Correct.
Here are we, I mean, is that people really starting to realize that solar can have some advantages here now?
Well, remember, the advantage of solar is that we have such great sun resources.
Right.
So even though the rates are lower, because the sun shines longer,
we get more gain, we get more juice, we get more power out of all the panels.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So, but overall, the industry is growing. We'll see another 50% growth in the industry this year. We will ourselves grow about 50% again this year.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that is really huge. I mean, there's been a lot of weird stuff that happened in the business. The Solyndra thing.
Yeah.
The guys that shot solar closed their facility here.
That was a bummer.
But then the guys at Solar City came in and picked it all up. And I mean, there's a lot of these things. Does every little movement, is it a rising tide lifts all boats kind of situation? When
yeah, I agree. Yeah. It is a rising tide that lifts all boats. So at first I was concerned, companies coming in from out of state, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
And they said the evidence is, and that's what we've seen, the evidence is that they're bringing in their presence and other companies that have come in as well, that all of the advertising, and then because people have been interested in solar at a residential level in Albuquerque, New Mexico for the last 7-8 years, I think it's the knowledge, it's the consciousness which is rising. People are now thinking about it.
Right. Well, I know there's some people who have now Tesla cars are becoming exciting, you know, and they're getting really cool. And I have a friend who actually has a solar panel just charges his car.
Yeah.
And he actually, his car uses no electricity from the grid, nor does it use any gas. It's completely 100% renewable, and I love that. I mean, is that the next step? Is that the next level? Is that taking it to where it's going to be, you think, in 5-10 years?
So definitely a possibility, but energy is a volatile industry is number one, and number two is there's innovation that's going on all the time, so we can't tell exactly what's going to do. I mean, solar, which I know the most about, you know, the cost for putting in a solar system have dropped by 50% in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So they've halved in cost, so big changes.
Right. When are we going to be able to get some batteries that will be able to power our homes or our TV studios or whatever? I mean, that's kind of the next frontier, right? Is the batteries that will be able to power whatever you have, so you can be completely off the grid.
So for my industry, that's the holy grail, is that we see the battery technology. Years ago, we used, you know, when we were doing homes and ranches, it was small golf cart batteries.
Right.
Today, and we're seeing, you know, with Elon Musk, you know, the idea was to bring the big plant, the giga plant here into New Mexico.
Right.
And so he's building really cheap lithium-ion batteries. And I was just reading an Italian company called Enel is bought a large, we measure things in megawatt hours. It's going to be a 3 megawatt hour, which is enough for about 200 odd homes. You can power it. They're doing the first testing. So I know at least 5 years, probably 10, because there's also, you have a product, and you can build it, but then you have to commercialize it and scale it. That takes time.
The scaling and I think just finding that much in raw materials has got to be amazing too.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
We're back in a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew with Friends. We can talk to Pamela Weiss and Mark Powell about Wings for Life International in the Morning Brew with Friends.